Conundrum is a pretty neat little weave. It is the sheet version of helm weave, so it is literally strips of helm that have been connected together. It does make a rather stiff weave, especially when using rubber rings, and it's great for structural pieces. Like this is a little coaster I made my husband. Of course, my purse was made using Conundrum weave, and I've also made things like this cool little coffin box. Let me show you how to make it. For ring sizes, you need large rings that have an AR or aspect ratio of 5. For my large rings, I am using 12 millimeter OD rubber rings and 16 SWG 5/16 anodized aluminum. You can use 5/16 for the rubber rings as well. This is just what I have on hand. And you can also make it using entirely aluminum. You don't have to use rubber rings. Rubber rings do make it a little stiffer though. You are going to need medium-sized rings that have an AR of 4.6. These are 18 SWG 7/32. And then you need small rings that have an AR of around 4. These are 16 AWG 5 millimeter rings from the Ring Lord. You could swap these out and use 18 standard wire gauge 3/16. It does tend to be a little tighter though if you use the 3/16. I just really like the look of the 5 millimeter rings. So to start, you need to make several strips of helm's weave, and I will show you how to do that first. So to create helm, we're going to take one of our small rings and we are going to open it. Then we are going to take 4 of our rubber, or if you're using all aluminum, pre-close bunch of rings. It just makes it go faster. And we're going to place 4 closed rings on this one open ring. And then close it. And then we need to double up the small ring we just added. So weave another one right next to it. So you end up with a little 2-2-2 chain that is 2 large rings, 2 small rings, 2 large rings. Now we're going to take one of our large aluminum rings and we are going to weave it around our small aluminum. So it is going to go in between the rubber rings and go around or orbit our small aluminum rings and then close it up. So essentially, this is one unit of helm, and you end up with like a little sandwich. So you have rubber rings on top, large aluminum in the middle, rubber rings on the bottom. And then to finish off the end of the weave, what I like to do is just add a couple of small rings. And then again, I'm going to add a large aluminum ring, and it's going to go in between the red rings and around my black small rings, like so. So it should look like that. Now to continue our chain, we're going to take a small ring, open it. This time we're only adding 2 of our closed rings or rubber rings, and then connecting it to the end of our chain. And then again, we need to double this aluminum ring. Now we're adding our orbital ring. So large aluminum, it's going in between the orange rings, around our black aluminum small rings, and then in between the lime green. So our large aluminum ring gets sandwiched in between our rubber rings, but it goes around or it orbits our small aluminum rings. So again, take a small ring, open it up. To that, we're only going to add 2. And then we're adding it to the end of our chain. Double up your small ring. Now we're going to take an aluminum ring. It's going in between our rubber rings and it's going around or it's orbiting our small rings. And you're just going to rinse and repeat until you get the length of whatever you're making. So meet me in part 2 and I will show you how to weave all your helm strips together to create conundrum weave.